Hi, welcome to Cecil TV. I'm Alison Donley. This is the first in a series of interviews of candidates for Cecil County Council. The candidates are on the Republican primary election ballot, for which in-person voting will take place July 19th. In this interview, I'll be speaking with Gividen, who is running for the 4th District Council seat against Donna Culberson, who is up for re-election after being appointed in November 2021. The fourth district includes Perryville, Port Deposit, Charlestown, Calora, Bainbridge, and Conowingo. Donald, thanks so much for being here. How are you today?
I'm well. Thank you for having me.
So first, tell us about your background and how it has prepared you for the role of county councilman.
My background is I'm a 25-year law enforcement professional for adjoining county. And in that role and working with, for, and around local government for all those years, I feel like I have the training, knowledge, and budgetary experience to fill the role of a councilman and best suit the citizens of Cecil County. I've been part of preparing, managing, and operating operational budgets, as well as grants, state and federal grant funding, and also multiple capital projects. So all those play a critical role preparing those items for the council, understanding the process to get them approved, and having relationships with members of various departments throughout county government, whether it be treasury, budget, traffic engineering, DPW, working collectively with all of them to reach our goals, as I've done in my full-time position. Now I want to transfer that and come over to where I live and put those skills to use for the citizens of Cecil County.
And why have you decided to run for office?
It's really about timing. I'm in a spot in my career and my life where my children are pretty much grown. My oldest son is off to college. My youngest son is entering his senior year at Perryville High School. So just in a very good spot where I have the time to do this. And I kind of took a look at what was happening and how my main driving force is the public safety for Cecil County. Public safety and education, without them, we have nothing. They are the pillars of our community. And as many viewers know, the sheriff's office has been kind of gotten the short end of the stick here over several years as it comes to pay. Members are leaving at an alarming rate, and it's all based upon their funding, and not just funding for their salaries, which is very important, but the fringe benefits as well. Some of their health care was cut, and that's the same for county employees across the board. And then there was a whole defund the police movement that was false narrative, unfortunately spread by some of the members of the council or alleged by current members of the council. And that was really the straw that broke the back. So that's when I decided I wanted to run and get in this to help out public safety. I feel like I have something to offer, not only to public safety and education, but to all facets of county government.
Well, we will definitely come back to education and public safety in a little bit. So checks and balances are an essential part of protecting our democracy at all levels of government. In your opinion, what is the role of the county council in providing transparency for the public in local government, particularly the county executive's office?
Absolutely. You said exactly what it is. That's kind of can answer with your question. The council, we are the check and balance for the budget that the county executive puts in, ensuring that it's not overspending or unnecessary items that are within that budget. We are exactly that, the check and balance. It's a very important role. It's the most important role of the council is the budget that comes over from the county executive. And the word that you use there's all kinds of buzzwords that you're going to hear all these Republican candidates say: transparency, conservative, pro-Second Amendment, all important. But that word transparency is very, very important. And I want to bring that, as well as honor and integrity to the council when preparing or approving the budgets and any other legislation that we enact as a council.
Our public school and library systems are running on very lean budgets. The school system announced it will eliminate 60 positions in order to cut costs, and the Cecil County library system is still unable to maintain staffing levels to be fully open at all locations. In your mind, how do you weigh the availability of these essential services with the pressure to lower taxes?
Well, it's very important functions, first of all. The schools and the libraries are very important, and they all play part of our community and aid and even public safety. When kids have a place to go, such as the library, and are there for learning, it gets them off the street. It does aid. I don't have a percentage to what that does, how it affects it, but it does have an impact on that. So I think the important thing to do is if you give them, as you said, they were given minimum funding. If they're given minimum funding, you're going to get minimum results. And that's exactly what we're seeing with the schools and the libraries. There are funds available, I believe, in looking at certain things that were in this budget that could be cut and allow that money to be used for libraries, public safety, education. Just one off of top of my head is a police accountability board. That was something that was mandated by the state legislature and is taking effect, but that was by no means did it have to have a fiscal note. It was not an unfunded mandate. In Hartford County, they asked for volunteers. That process is taking place now. They actually had a long list of people that volunteered. So in Cecil County, that was marked as a $100,000 item. That's $100,000 that could be used elsewhere for schools or libraries, like you mentioned.
That's a good point. And the council has the ability to take money from one area of the budget and move it over to education. I guess actually the public school budget is the only area where the council has the authority to allocate funds if they've found room in the budget elsewhere.
Yeah, but I think it starts before that. I think it starts with collaboration between the council and the county executive to know what's important and to hash those items out before it even gets to a vote where things need to get cut. If the county executive understands the priorities of the council and what's best for the citizens of Cecil County, those items should be worked out and in a budget that everyone is happy with and should get through fairly easily in the best interest of public safety, education, and just doing what's right for the constituents.
Right, because I mean, to your point, a budget does express the priorities of the county. So it is very much a document that says here's what we're investing in as a county.
Exactly.
So the county has received nearly $20 million in federal American Rescue Plan money. Given that this money can't be used to lower taxes, how do you think it should be spent? And do you think that there should be citizen input on how it should be spent?
I think there should be citizen input on every dollar that's spent. It's the taxpayers' money, whether that's through the American Recovery Act or not. That's still tax dollars that are coming. I know they're from a federal level, but they're still tax dollars. So absolutely, they should have input. And I just think that those funds should be used for equipment that makes operations in our day-to-day lives easier, and not necessarily for things that we're going to have to pay for later. If you're using it for trying to use it as part of pay packages, that kind of thing, at some point that money is going to run out, and now it's for the local taxpayers to have to foot the bill. So equipment, some of the items, for example, in my agency we used it for were gas masks that were also COVID masks as well. But if we had to spend the money for masks to protect our personnel from COVID, There's also a lot of civil unrest that's taking place in the country. So we looked at it as, more bang for our buck here. We'll get the ones that have the canisters that we can use to protect our guys and the citizens in the event of civil unrest as well. So equipment is what that money should be used for, to make things better, not for future cost to the citizens.
With school safety back on everybody's minds, it's notable that the county executive's budget again falls short in funding needed to install secure entrances at all 8 of the remaining schools that lack them. Is there anything you think should be done to get the needed funding?
Absolutely. That is a priority, the hardening of our schools. Agencies and counties all over this country, it's one of those items where, it's kind of like, yeah, that we should probably have that, but we're okay. We're kind of gambling every day. Most people didn't know where Uvalde, Texas was a month ago, and now it's on the news because of the horrible incident that occurred there. So no county, no community is immune from that. And it has to be a priority where we need to harden those schools. Example I've been given lately is, when 9/11 happened, we didn't stop flying on airplanes. We locked the cockpits down. That's exactly what needs to happen in our school systems to protect our children.
Lastly, the Sheriff's Department has been steadily losing employees because other jurisdictions in the region pay higher salaries. How do you think we should address this problem?
Well, again, I said that in my opening statement that they're leaving at an alarming rate, and Sheriff Adams has done the best he can with what he has. But it's nearing a point of catastrophic failure. So we do need to increase their salary. We do need, and as I said earlier, the fringe benefits as well, because they are leaving to go not far away. They're not moving their families, uprooting and moving out of state. They're going to Hartford County. They're going to Baltimore County. They're going to Delaware. So they're just going right up the street. And when I go back to what I said about purchasing equipment. There are things that can be done and purchased that go towards recruitment and retention that also have an impact in public safety. So Cecil County, for example, motors, they don't have any motorcycles. Those motor units are very helpful when you have details that require a lot of traffic to be moved. Also very effective for traffic enforcement to make our roadways safer. Cecil County does not have a boat, yet we have waterways that we're responsible for. So being prepared for all hazards that could affect our citizens also acts as a retention tool and a recruitment tool for members of the sheriff's office who want to stay here because they have opportunities or want to come here because of opportunities. It's no secret. I mean, it's not a situation that's unique to Cecil County right now. Recruitment and retention is tough in all law enforcement agencies, but you look at what these other agencies are throwing out there at them, and you look at their websites, it's the boats, it's the motorcycles, it's the, hey, we have, whether it's a bicycle unit, there's more room for growth and development in someone's career. So that is more appealing, and that's why they're going to those kind of agencies. Money is very important, and that also needs to be fixed, as well as the improvements to the healthcare. But there are other tools that aid for recruitment and retention. As I said, and it's not just let's buy toys, it's let's buy things that have a positive impact on public safety that also aid us in our retention efforts.
Right. I mean, it's so interesting. I mean, I don't know if I'm alone in this, but I think that folks don't always think about how, as a law enforcement officer, I mean, it's just like any other profession in that you want your employer to be investing in your growth. Sure. And like those kinds of tools are the things that promote that. Another example I was reading about for Cecil County in particular, I think, was about a firing range. I think Sheriff Adams wants to establish a firing range somewhere else in the county that would be a partnership with the Newark Police. Yes. And I would think that would be another perk, like a training perk that employees would benefit from.
Absolutely, and you're investing in marksmanship and safety for your members, where you're not dependent on another agency where we have to go elsewhere to shoot. For example, Havre de Grace Police, they have a range over there. I know a lot of agencies use that, but if you have your own range, as my agency does, you can do elective classes through in-service that maybe somebody is not the greatest shot, so they go there to hone their skills so that they get better. So yeah, it all aids to making better law enforcement officers out on the street and safer for the citizens. Another example would be Cecil County does not have a full-time special response team. Well, given these incidents that we're seeing with mental health and barricade situations and active shooters, so they don't have a team. They also don't have an armored vehicle like a rescue vehicle like Harford County does that provides their members and, more importantly, the public protection. Harford County has one. We were, unfortunately, we had to use that 1.5 to 2 years ago when someone was shooting at the police as they arrived and had already shot the neighbor across the street who was just simply bringing his trash can outside for the night, and he was shot. We were able to get in there, even though gunfire was still taking place, and rescue that person and get them to the hospital so that more damage was not done. So those are life-saving tools, not only for the members of public safety, but for the community as well. So those are things that, if you have, lend to that growth and development and improving public safety.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
And best of luck. Donald Gividen is running for 4th District County Councilman here in Cecil County. Thanks again.
Thank you.